First tonight on Our News, the Health Ministry's Pathology Department to work in collaboration with the Royal Bahamas Police Force to establish DNA testing within the country. The Health Minister provides the details. Plus, a man gunned down in the early morning hours on Sampson Street. Police say the suspect was riding a bicycle when he approached the victim. And then 4 construction sites in West New Providence suspended by the Labor Minister in light of recent deadly industrial accidents. And then in our news at 7:30, as residents across the country vent their frustrations with ongoing power outages, one former prime minister is stepping in to defend the energy minister. We have the details for these stories and more as Our News Live at 7 starts now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. Nearly 2 weeks after the deadly Flamingo Air crash in North Andros, families are still waiting for the official identification of their loved ones. Because many of the victims' remains were badly burned in the crash, authorities say DNA testing is needed before they can be released to their families, and it could take months to complete. The tragedy renewing calls for the Bahamas to establish its own DNA laboratory, something governmental officials have promised for years. Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville says plans are moving ahead for a local DNA lab through the Department of Pathology and the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
We have plans, particularly with the Pathology Department in collaboration with the Royal Bahamas Police Force, for us to do DNA testing within the country. I know our reference lab is growing tremendously, and we're about to put the reference lab at the new location right next to the College of the Bahamas. But in the future, the Bahamian people will see a DNA lab here in the country, but we'll always work in collaboration with other accredited labs around the United States and possibly Canada.
Successive governments have promised to establish a DNA lab, the latest promise coming in 2022 when then National Security Minister Wayne Monroe said the government is in the, quote, advanced stages of establishing a national forensic laboratory. But that's yet to happen. Now, 4 years later and an election later, Darville says the lab is in the government's plans. He didn't say when Bahamians can expect it to open. When it comes to the recent plane crash victims and DNA testing in that case, the health minister also revealed the government would pay the bill for the DNA testing.
To my understanding, the remains was pretty much unrecognizable, so it means now that we have to do the DNA testing. It's a process, and the labs in the United States have to look at the remains and match before we start speaking and start putting remains to individuals. It needs to be tested for confirmation.
Now, is that a cost of the government or families?
I believe the cost is to the government. We realize that this is a national tragedy, and there's a lot of things that are going to be underwritten and absorbed by the government.
Police are investigating the country's latest homicide after a 49-year-old man was fatally shot this morning on Eaton Street in the Yellow Elder community. According to police, shortly after 8:30 this morning, officers responded to reports of a shooting. Upon arrival, they found the victim sitting in the driver's seat of a black Ford truck, suffering from an apparent gunshot wound to the right side of his face. EMS transported the man to the hospital, where he later succumbed to his injuries just after 9 a.m. Preliminary investigations indicate the victim was inside his vehicle when he was shot by an unknown assailant or assailants who fled the area in an unknown direction. Police are appealing to anyone with information about the incident to contact the Criminal Investigation Department or your nearest police station. And another tragic incident unfolding in Nassau Village, where a 28-year-old man was fatally shot early Tuesday morning. Police say they were alerted around 2 a.m. by ShotSpotter technology to reports of gunfire on Sampson Street. When officers arrived at the scene, they found the victim lying unresponsive. He was dressed in a white shirt, blue pants, and gray sneakers, and had suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Emergency medical services were called to the area, where they assessed the man and determined that he showed no signs of life. Here's Press Liaison Chief Superintendent Sharia King.
Preliminary information is that the victim was outside a business establishment with a group of men when a masked male suspect approached him, produced a firearm, and fatally shot the victim. As we do, we're asking the general public who have assisted us in the past, and we are grateful for that assistance, to once again assist us in this particular matter.
Now, following that briefing on scene, police released additional details, noting that the suspect was riding a bicycle when he approached the victim before fleeing south along Sampson Street. This latest incident comes nearly 2 weeks after another troubling event in the Nassau Village area, where a male pedestrian was struck by a vehicle and the driver allegedly left the scene. While speaking with reporters this morning, Chief Superintendent King also addressed concerns from residents about safety and security in the community.
Our East Street South Police Station, which is manned by Chief Superintendent Lily Smith, had patrols in this area and had just left this area. And so the patrols are ongoing. The police has a mandate, and we will continue to do our mandate, which is to maintain law and order and make certain that the citizens of this particular community, as well as the general Bahamas, is safe.
Pilot Donald Ferguson Jr. has been jailed for 6 months in prison after he was found with an ounce of marijuana inside his maximum security cell while on remand for murder and drug trafficking. The 28-year-old pleaded guilty to drug possession with intent to supply at his arraignment before senior magistrate Raquel Wims. Correction officers found 33 packets of marijuana inside a container when they swept Ferguson's cell on June 19th. The drugs weighed an ounce and had an estimated value of $80. Ferguson is awaiting trial for June 16, 2024 shooting murder of Giovanni Roll, who was in relationship with his estranged wife. The drug charges stems from the discovery of 1,982 pounds of cocaine and 50 pounds of hydroponic marijuana on Acklands in December 2024. Authorities seized the drugs after a plane crash landed on the island and 2 men were seen fleeing from the aircraft. Ferguson's iPad was allegedly found on the plane. Well, a series of deadly industrial accidents has put workplace safety back in the spotlight. And now the Department of Labor is taking action. 4 construction sites in western New Providence have been temporarily shut down after inspectors discovered serious safety violations they say put workers' lives at imminent risk. Our Chinasa Outen has the details.
The message from the Department of Labor is clear. Cutting corners on safety will not be tolerated. Over the past 2 weeks, inspectors halted work at 4 construction sites in western New Providence after discovering serious breaches of the Health and Safety at Work Act.
Inspectors, we took out to the streets last week where we would have visited a few of the construction sites in the western district of New Providence. Upon entering those construction sites, we would have seen several breaches as it relates to the Health and Safety at Work Act.
The violations were widespread. Inspectors found workers without the proper personal protective equipment, forklifts being operated unsafely, missing hazard signage, and a lack of basic emergency preparedness, including hand washing stations, fire extinguishers, and first aid kits. Senior Safety Officer Sharon Moss says some workers were also immediately removed from the job sites.
The reason we removed them from the site is recently, as you are aware, there would have been several industrial accidents, and 1 life loss is just too many.
The enforcement push comes as the country continues to reel from a series of tragic industrial accidents. Last month, a young construction worker lost his life after falling from a roof beam at a site near Prince Charles Drive. In January, an excavator operator was killed when tons of rubble collapsed around him. And just this month, a 31-year-old man was seriously injured in an industrial accident aboard a vessel near Bimini. For the Department of Labor, the recent loss of life has made one thing clear: safety cannot be an afterthought.
And right now, we cannot take any chances because suppose we go to a site, we allow you to, hey, we give you a flag today. We leave that site and an industrial accident. It is our job as inspectors to remove any worker off of the site that is not properly geared.
Moss also reminded employers that every industrial accident must be reported to the department's Occupational Safety and Health Unit, which is responsible for enforcing the law and ensuring workplaces remain safe. Now, as the Bahamas move to strengthen its work safety standards, the Department of Labor is planning to expand its operational safety and health unit. They hope to hire 30 new inspectors by end of year. And this is a move that they say will hopefully keep workers safe and prevent any future incidents. Reporting for Our News, I'm Chinasa Outen.
All right, thanks so much for that, Shanasa. The Bahamas National Trust is introducing new park fees with the funds earmarked for conservation and maintenance. Our Evelyn Ferguson tells us more.
At the Bahamas National Trust headquarters off Village Road, Executive Director Lakeisha Anderson-Roll explained that the new rates are about more than just raising money. She says the fees will help cover staffing, boardwalk repairs, and infrastructure, making sure the parks are properly maintained for everyone to enjoy.
The entrance fees for our national parks has remained largely unchanged over the past few years, despite the increase in costs associated with managing the national parks. And this isn't just a hike increase. It shouldn't be seen as that. It is to ensure that we are continuing to invest and care for the national parks in the way they deserve.
The new structure includes modest increases for adults, children, and seniors. Anderson-Roll pointed out that the fees are still competitive with other national parks in the region.
We are increasing adult fees from $11 to $12 to $15. Children the ages of 6 to 14, 6 to 8, and seniors from $8 to $9 to $10. And the fee structure is being standardized, and they are quite competitive to other national parks in the region.
Members, however, will continue to enjoy free entry across the system. The new passes offer flexibility while preserving the value of membership.
We're also rolling out annual passes, so persons who have an interest in visiting the parks on a regular basis, there's a fee structure in place for that now. There's also a multi-day pass, so persons who are wishing to visit multiple national parks on New Providence and Grand Bahama, we have passes available for that. But we still also have our membership, and that's really the true value. So these fees, they don't impact our membership base. That remains. Members still have free access to the national parks across the system.
The Bahamas National Trust says these new fees aren't just about today. They're an investment to keep our national parks thriving so their beauty and legacy can be experienced for generations to come. Reporting for Our News, I'm Evelyn Ferguson.
Definitely a worthy investment. Thanks so much, Evelyn. Well, we've still got more to come, but for now, meteorologist Ian McKinsey is standing by in the Weather Center. Ian, happy to have you back.
Happy Tuesday, Megan, and happy Tuesday, Bahamas. Another hot one across the country. Currently outside our studios under partly sunny and warm conditions. Temperature at 86. Feels like still very warm at 95. Winds from the east-southeast at 10 miles per hour. Across the northwest Bahamas, we have 87s in Freeport as well as Great Harbor Key and Nicholstown. Andros, 86s elsewhere across Allenstown, the capital, Governor's Harbor, and Marsh Harbor, Abaco. Central Bahamas, 86s continuing across Camps Bay, Georgetown, Deadman's Key, and Port Nelson, Rum Key, 87 in Arthurstown, Kid Island, a pair of 85s in Black Point and Coburn Towns in Salvador. Southeast Bahamas, 85s across Duncan Town, Delectable Bay, and Abrahams Bay, Mayaguana, 86s across Colonel Hill and Providenciales, Turks and Caicos, 88 in Matthew Town and Agua. Satellite and radar composite at this time. High pressure ridge continue to dominate weather conditions across our area. We do have a few streaming clouds that can produce some pop-up showers across the area. Elsewhere, further to the west in the Gulf area, we are continuing to monitor what was tropical depression 2 yesterday, but overnight has become tropical storm Bertha. We'll tell you all about this straight ahead.
Coming up in sports, Jazz and JJ get New York back on track, and Ian Lewis gets another career milestone in the minors.
Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing, ding ding bang.
So you need a part for your car.
You need a water pump for 2014 Honda Accord. Don't worry, man. I can send you to my boy. You can be straight.
But his boy isn't WimAuto.com.
Hello?
You say you looking for a water pump, right?
They made you question if you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
It did not. Luckily, WimAuto.com lets you search for parts by year, make, and model.
Found it.
Plus, you can pay online for pickup or next weekday delivery.
I have a guy for that. Actually, a website.
Save time and shop with confidence on WimAuto.com.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by Tantier Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. They gotta love him today, don't they? The confidence and swagger that Jazz gets judged for could be the thing keeping the Yankees afloat right now. Well, that and the home runs, especially the home runs. I think it's okay to call Jazz the hottest hitter in baseball, no matter how small the sample size. One night after playing hero against the Dodgers, he went right back to work, putting on a show at Yankee Stadium with his first multi-home run game of the season. In the end, he went 2 for 4 with homers number 15 and 16, 5 RBI, and 2 runs scored as the Yankees beat the Pirates 8-5 in the Bronx. This game originally got delayed, but it was worth the wait. Wings-Liberty becoming a sneaky good rivalry. I like where this is headed, as long as JJ wins. If you're keeping score, and we are, that's now 4 double-doubles in JJ's last 5 games, and it has the Liberty back on track. Last night, she had 14 points and 10 boards as New York came from behind to beat the Dallas Wings 99-98 in overtime in Arlington, Texas. The Marlins have a lot to look forward to, and so do we. The franchise is trending upward, and we got another prospect that could become a star, if they do this properly. Lewis had the swing of the night for the Pensacola Blue Wahos, unloading the first Grand Slam of his season in a 16-6 beatdown of the Biloxi Shuckers. And he picked the perfect time to do it. Pensacola was already rolling during a massive second inning, then Lewis stepped to the plate with the bases loaded. The Grand Slam capped a 7-run inning and gave Pensacola complete control. That'll do it for sports, and just because it's Tuesday, we bring you more on Our News at 7:30.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world. As U.S. President Trump says they have no interest in talks with Iran. This as he requests $88 billion for war funds. Plus, Ukraine, in its latest major attack on the Russian capital, fired more than 400 drones toward Moscow. And Guyanese authorities confirming at least 69 people have been rescued after the MV Barima sank last Saturday. 27 bodies have been found so far. We have the details when our news returns.
Popeyes were now spicy and mild, sauced and dry rubbed. If Popeyes can make better wings, I can be better Mayfield.
It keeps getting better.
A real gentleman would share those wings.
Let's just get across the street.
And the better baker is Baker.
Yes! Popeye's wings got better. Now available in spicy and mild, sauced and dry rub, bone in and boneless. With Popeye's wings, you can enjoy bold flavor while controlling the heat.
Love that chicken from Popeyes. Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
I can't believe my mom replied K to my text with a period. Are my 5 morning alarms a metaphor for everything else I'm putting off? What have I done to deserve K? Like my 768 unread texts.
I'm just your dermatologist.
769.
But it sounds like you don't want all of this showing up on your face. Try Hydro Boost. Its formula magnifies the power of hyaluronic acid for juicy, deeply hydrated skin.
Okay. Sorry. Neutrogena. Weightless effortless hydration that goes deep.
This is the ride on the weekend with my grandma to this place, Burger King Nassau, where grandma enjoyed her favorite flame grilled Whopper with fresh veggies, flame grilled beef just the way she likes it. And then I enjoyed my cheeseburger kids meal with a special treat.
And now, all grown up, I get to enjoy Burger King with these people, my friends, enjoying the same classic flame grilled Whopper. Let's just say, we know flame grilled tastes better.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. U.S. President Donald Trump delivered a dim view of possible talks with Iran to end the war, saying the U.S. has no interest in meeting until Iran is ready to convene in a meaningful way. Meanwhile, Iran's interior minister met with mediators in Pakistan as 10 consecutive days of attacks between the U.S. and Iran have shredded the interim ceasefire deal. With no end to the fighting in sight, the U.S. Defense Secretary testified before the Senate Tuesday afternoon to make a case for Trump's $87.6 billion supplemental funding request, mostly for covering the costs of war. Ukraine fired more than 400 drones toward Moscow in its latest major attack on the Russian capital. The blitz came hours after Russia bombarded Kyiv and other Ukrainian cities with ballistic missiles in a relentless cycle of tit-for-tat strikes that make a settlement to end Moscow's more than 4-year-old all-out invasion appear a distant possibility. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, meanwhile, said he would hold key talks Monday as he tries to defuse a domestic political crisis after last week's government reshuffle exposed a deep split between the military's old guard and young innovators over how to fight the war. One of the survivors of a ferry that capsized in Guyana over the weekend with as many as 179 people on board said she lost 4 of her grandchildren in the chaotic disaster and that the ship seemed to sink in an instant. The ship's manifest listed 116 passengers and 17 crew. At least 69 people have been rescued after the MV Barima sank late Saturday. 27 bodies have been found so far, 4 of them children. But the death toll is expected to rise dramatically. Officials have said that the rescued captain and at least 1 other crew member tested positive for marijuana and remain in police custody as part of the criminal investigation. Guyana's Public Works Minister said all staff associated with the management and loading of the MV Barima have been suspended amid suspension that they might have illegally loaded the ferry with additional people and cargo without putting them on the manifest. On the other side of this break, a premier jewelry store with 40 years of experience serving the Bahamian and international community under its belt, celebrating another milestone. Our Danielle Miller tells us all about it. And then in our news at 7:30, one community activist calling for a review of how bail conditions are enforced. This after a man accused of murder allegedly missed 81 court-ordered police check-ins. That's coming up when our news continues.
Making money is a lot like baking bread. This loaf, like Treasury bills, was made with a recipe designed to deliver great results and to do so in a relatively short period of time, just like Treasury bills. While this loaf here is more like Bahamas registered stock. It's a bit fuller, a bit crustier, and you may have to wait a little bit longer, but boy is it worth it. Treasury bills and Bahamas registered stock are both low risk, government backed, and feature maturity dates that you pick. Treasury bills and Bahamas registered stock, making money never tasted so good.
Marco's Pizza. Marco's Pizza. Someone never tasted so good.
Marco's Summer Party is bringing the fun. Choose 2 large one-topping pizzas with a 2-liter soda for just $34.95. Or grab a big square deal, 1 medium, 1-topping pizzas with boneless wings for just $39.95. Enter to win weekly Baja Bay water passes and your very own Marco's Summer Party pack all summer long. Marco's Pizza. Summer never tasted so good.
Bahamian company with more than 40 years of history has unveiled a new look, reopening one of its stores in one of the country's most popular tourist destinations. The celebration drew loyal customers, employees, and international partners to mark the occasion. Our Danielle Miller was there.
After 7 months of renovations, Colombian Emeralds at Marina Village has officially reopened. The reopening comes as the store celebrates 20 years at the Paradise Island location. Company executives say the milestone presented the perfect opportunity to modernize the boutique. The new design features expansive glass windows, elegant jewelry displays, and green and gold accent walls that complement the bright lighting, allowing the gemstones to take center stage. But officials say the transformation is about more than just appearance. Brand representative for CEI, Zoe Gibson, says the rebranding was designed to elevate the customer experience.
Everybody who shops with us is a family member. We want our family every single time that they come into the store to feel different.
Gibson says the company has become an important part of the Marina Village community, with its success helping to support the wider Bahamian economy.
People come in, and it's a Bahamian-owned company, and they come and they spend their money, and the money remains in the country.
While the store caters to thousands of visitors who pass through Marina Village each year, Gibson says the brand has also become a favorite among Bahamians.
Who doesn't like jewelry? But obviously this particular store is at the Marina Village, so this store is targeted towards tourists. But a lot of locals also frequent the Marina Village, and Colombian Emeralds is known as a local brand. It was born here in the Bahamas.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks so much, Danielle. Well, to watch any of today's top stories, be sure to visit ournews.bs or join the conversation at Our News Bahamas on your favorite social media platform. That's going to do it for our news at 7. I'm Megan Shepard, handing it over to our Jerome Sawyer for the latest headlines. Jerome.
So I have a question. This is still on the Colombian Emerald story. If diamonds are a girl's best friend, we agree, right? Mm-hmm. What's a guy's best friend?
I refuse to answer before
Think Colombian Emeralds. Come on, Megan.
The bill?
You win. All right. You win that one. Thank you so very much. Well, just ahead tonight, a Grammy artist, a Grammy-nominated artist is coming to the Bahamas stage. Megan threw me off completely with that. Here's a look at your latest headlines.
Ahead on our news tonight at 7:30.
Several family islands experiencing blackouts this weekend, yet a former prime minister is defending the energy minister. Stay tuned to Our News tonight for more details.
The BPL debacle continues. Then more questions about the security of our bail monitoring system after a murder suspect misses 81 bail check-ins with police. He's now facing charges for allegedly murdering a witness in an upcoming trial. Plus, a top financial expert talks about what positive ratings by 3 major credit rating agencies could mean for the Bahamian economy. And then, this Grammy-nominated artist returns to Bahamas.
I feel great. I'm looking forward to seeing all the people when I hit the stage.
Our News live at 7:30 starts now.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that runny nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Welcome to Our News Live at 7:30. I'm Jerome Sawyer in for Italia Hall, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Coming off of a frustrating weekend for electricity consumers, Bahamas power and light troubles lead off this half hour tonight. Power outages affected several islands across the country and continued up to Monday.
Bahamas Power and Light officials say the disruptions were caused by a mix of load shedding, fires, and even tree trimming. And while consumers are pointing fingers at Energy Minister JoBeth Colby-Davis, questioning whether enough was done to prepare for the hot summer power challenges, an unexpected voice is stepping in to defend her, a former Prime Minister. Our Joshua Williams gets us started tonight.
Dark nights and hot summer days have become the reality for thousands of residents across the Bahamas, not just in New Providence, but on the Family Islands as well. While many islands have been dealing with ongoing power challenges, Long Island unexpectedly found itself on that list. On Monday, parts of the island were placed on a rotational power schedule because of increased electricity demand. A notice from Bahamas Power and Light outlined load shedding across several settlements, with rotating outages scheduled between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. It came just one day after an island-wide outage at around 2:50 Sunday morning, which BPL says was caused by a fire. Power was restored a short time later. I spoke with Long Island Administrator Jandeel Archer, who says both incidents were isolated and not reflective of the island's normal experience. She says Long Island doesn't typically face recurring power problems and was disappointed the outages made headlines after just one day. But the story is different on some other islands. Residents in San Salvador, who asked to remain anonymous, reached out to me saying they continue to deal with frequent load shedding and unplanned outages. And in Eleuthera, many residents say power interruptions have become a way of life. Just yesterday and again this morning, outages were reported in communities including Windermere and Governor's Harbor. As frustration grows, many are pointing the finger at Energy Minister JoBeth Colby-Davis, who previously maintained that BPL was prepared to meet summer demands. But in an unexpected twist, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis is coming to her defense, saying the minister should not be blamed, arguing that she listened to the concerns of the Bahamian people.
She demonstrated clearly that she was defending the people. She went beyond politics. Now, yes, her party may give her some challenges for that or problems, but the point is, when you are elected to Parliament, you are elected by and to defend and support the people.
Now, Minnis says the Energy Minister can only present information to the public that's given to her.
Now, whether the technocrats gave her the right information, that's the question. That's the question. She's not a technocrat. So as a technocrat, you could come and tell me that everything is ready. And I've had those experiences. I in front of camera, in front of the public, I say everything is ready. And then as soon as I leave, then somebody else would say, PM, that's not the case. I say, what the hell do you mean that's not the case? They told me it's ready.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Coalition of Independents Chairman Charlotte Green blasting last weekend's planned power outage at the Princess Margaret Hospital that left portions of the hospital without electricity and patients in the dark. This video obtained by Our News shows a dark hospital room. In a public notice before the outage, the Public Hospital Authority advised of the planned outage on Sunday at 6 a.m. The notice said it was necessary to facilitate the installation of critical infrastructure, strengthening the emergency power system, and improving overall reliability. But Green insists it never should have happened.
We have patients. Human lives are in that hospital. Therefore, the hospital should have been prepared. This is why we have backup generators. And I was told that the generators, some of the generators didn't kick in until 25 minutes later. That's unacceptable. We have people on life-saving machines.
Now, Green adds that power issues should be the last thing healthcare providers and patients should have to deal with, given PMH's history of issues, including staff shortages and facility issues.
We get reports every day. We get reports daily from nurses. We get reports from patients that are basically going through the experience. A lot of the nurses, they give us their reports on what they are currently experiencing, but they don't want to speak out publicly for the fear of being victimized.
Details coming out in a murder arraignment have once again prompted questions over the bail monitoring system. That court document revealing a murder suspect missed 81 counts in terms of ordered police check-ins, court-ordered police check-ins, and tonight a community activist is calling for a review of how bail conditions are enforced, saying the case has shaken public confidence in the justice system. Our Delvado Emmanuel is on the story tonight.
39-year-old Adnan Oliver is accused of murdering James McPhee on July 12th. Prosecutors allege McPhee was chopped about the body and ran over with a vehicle off Spikenard Road. The alleged killing happened about a month before Oliver was scheduled to stand trial for the 2019 armed robbery of McPhee's $20,000 Rolex watch, a trial in which McPhee was scheduled to be a key witness in. Court documents also allege that while on bail, Oliver allegedly failed to report to police station 81 times as required by his bail conditions. Community activist Rashad Adderley says if those reports are accurate, they raise questions about the enforcement of court orders.
Orders are not suggestions. Bail conditions are put in place for a reason to balance the right of the accused person with the responsibility of protecting the public. When repeated breaches happen without timely intervention, it creates a situation for the public.
The issue of bail has been a hot-button topic with concerns over checks and balances in the system. Back in 2021, the electronic bail management system came on stream. The system is backed by a customized software platform, which is utilized by the Supreme Court and law enforcement to automate and track bail applications, suretors, and defendant check-ins. Officials have also said it mandates that individuals released on bail register electronically to verify compliance with their release conditions. But with this latest alleged breach, Adderley says it leaves more questions than answers.
You're only ignorant until it happened to you. You don't need this to happen on another doorstep with somebody you know. That's sad. This is a sad situation. So with the angle monitored, these things are questions that need to be asked.
Commenting on the topic, Attorney General Wayne Monroe says reporting to a police station is a condition of bail intended to reduce the risk of an accused person absconding, but it is not designed to provide constant supervision.
Our check-in works. You walk into the police station, you present your ID, you sign the book, you walk out. You don't have any interaction with the police or anybody else. And you can do it, usually the court will say between 9 and 6 p.m. So there's no set time for you to do it either.
Now, I did reach out to the Department of Public Prosecutions for answers. I was informed by someone within the office that it is the responsibility of the designated police station to report any alleged breach of bail for further action. Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
Thanks, Delvado. Well, a murder suspect will remain in custody after an appellate court affirmed a judge's decision to refuse him bail. 50-year-old Ricardo Green is charged with the May 4th, 2025 stabbing murder of Anthony Sullivan at Plantal Street. Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson last November refused Green bail for his safety and that of the public, given the number of retaliatory killings in the country. Following a slew of deadly traffic accidents over in Grand Bahama, a road safety campaign has been launched on that island. The launch came as Transport Minister Leon Lundy spent time in Grand Bahama last week, visiting the Road Traffic Department, Post Office and Port Department, as well as the Met Office, to meet with staff and assess the operations of the agencies now under his portfolio. During the trip, he also paid a courtesy call on the Grand Bahama Minister, Ginger Moxie. Lundy telling reporters that the launch of the Road Safety Week is important considering how many deadly car crashes have happened this year.
Well, we've been here for 2 days now, and I've been seeing the different departments that's under my remit, and that's the Road Traffic Department, also the Post Office and the Port Department and the Met Office. And I just came to see the staff, to see how they feel, and just to have a feel of everything that's going on. And we came here to spread the word around Grand Bahama. We just recently had a fatality, and I want to give my condolences to the family on that, in that regard. But definitely, we want to make sure that everybody throughout the Bahamas is paying attention to road safety, our road safety campaign.
All right, the minister also addressing transportation concerns following the suspension of Flamingo Air's operations, acknowledging the disruption of travelers to Grand Bahama, Bimini and Andros. Lundy says the government is already in discussions with ferry operators and aviation partners to establish new routes and help ease the burden on residents.
I think the Member of Parliament for Bimini and the Barrier Islands spoke about it, where they're already speaking with Valeria to try and get a new route between Bimini and Freeport. I know the Minister for Aviation spoke about a lot of airlines actually putting in a bid to try and get that route between Abaco and Freeport and Bimini. So definitely I'm looking forward to it. I actually have to have a route also because one of the airlines used to go to Mangrove Key. So right now we're speaking with some aviation partners to try and get them involved to try and alleviate some of the stress on the partners.
Time now for your first look at temperatures around the country. Meteorologist Ian McKenzie is standing by in the Weather Centre tonight. Ian?
Happy Tuesday, Jerome, and good evening again, Bahamas. Currently outside our studios, mostly fair and warm conditions at 86, feels like even warmer at 94. Winds from the east-southeast at 10 miles per hour. Satellite and radar composite at this time. High pressure remaining the dominant weather feature. However, you can see a few streaming clouds across the area that can possibly produce 1 or 2 pop-up showers. Further to the west, we are continuing to monitor what was once tropical depression 2, but has now become Tropical Storm Bertha, poses no threat to the Bahamas. However, the Gulf states are going to continue to monitor this as they have tropical storms and warnings in place. We'll tell you all about this in an extended forecast and a further deeper look at the tropics.
And still to come on Our News tonight, a closer look at what Moody's recent credit rating upgrade means for the local economy. And then later, our Danielle Miller has the exclusive with Music Soul Child, getting ready to take the stage at the Jazz Bar at Bahamas this week. That's all coming up when Our News returns.
So you need a part for your car.
You need a pump for 2014 Honda Accord. Don't worry, man. I can send you to my boy. You can be straight.
But his boy isn't WimAuto.com.
Hello?
You say you're looking for a water pump, right? They made you question if you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
It did not. Luckily, WimAuto.com lets you search for parts by year, make, and model.
Found it.
Plus, you can pay online for pickup or next weekday delivery.
I have a guy for that. Actually, a website.
Save time and shop with confidence on WimAuto.com.
The Paint Place Independence. It's that time again. Yeah, sun so bright. We got the colors for you to paint it right. We got the things that you need, you know, to paint the work of your dreams. Let's go on the God one. People, yeah, we are equal. 24 senses, so high without fear.
Turning our attention now to some economic news with a focus on the government's fiscal performance. Following Moody's recent credit rating upgrade of the Bahamas to Ba3 with a stable outlook from B1, RF Bank and Trust Vice President and Group Head of Investment David Slatter says the upgrade is a positive development, noting that all 3 major rating agencies, Moody's, Fitch and S&P Global, now have the Bahamas rated in a BB-. He says the improved credit should help lower government's cost of U.S. dollar borrowing, while adding that the government's commitment to further reducing the debt to GDP ratio is another encouraging sign.
When a current administration or government wins the election, it does allow for continuity of existing projects without the need to revisit or review. So, that's a positive as long as the projects are positive. As far as the overall fiscal position of the government, there was a little uptick in debt and B-dollar debt leading up to the election, which is kind of normal in the Bahamian political cycle. But over the last administration, there was consistent reduction in the overall debt to GDP ratio. So that trend, that direction is good to see. We're down to around 75-76% of GDP. And the objective over the next 3 years is to get it down to under 60%, which, if achieved, would get us down to the pre-COVID level And why is that important? Because the government needs to have capacity to deal with external shocks. So if there's another event that occurs, the government needs to have the ability to borrow to assist the economy and assist the population in such a situation.
Coming up in sports, Jazz is lighting up New York City right now, just as we expected, and we love being right. JJ and the Libs win an epic battle on the road, and Ian Lewis goes yard, but with a lot of people on base, so it was really special.
I'm very excited, and I can't believe it. It's it's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and this whole staff for what they do, and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Chances is the great house to play, even down to the staff, is perfect. You're going to marvel.
Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Ding ding bang.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. They gotta love him today, don't they? The confidence and swagger that Jazz gets judged for could be the thing keeping the Yankees afloat right now. Well, that and the home runs, especially the home runs.
I think it's okay to call Jazz the hottest hitter in baseball, no matter how small the sample size. One night after playing hero against the Dodgers, he went right back to work, putting on a show at Yankee Stadium with his first multi-home run game of the season. In the end, he went 2 for 4 with homers number 15 and 16, 5 RBI, and 2 runs scored as the Yankees beat the Pirates 8-5 in the Bronx. The first homer, a 3-run shot in the first inning, gave New York a 4-0 lead. Then, with the game tied in the third, Jazz turned on a slider and launched a 376-foot 2-run shot in the right field seats, giving New York the lead for good. In his last 2 games, Jazz has hit 3 homers. 2 were game-changing go-ahead shots.
This game originally got delayed, but it was worth the wait. Wings, Liberty becoming a sneaky good rivalry. I like where this is headed, as long as JJ wins.
If you're keeping score, and we are, that's now 4 double-doubles in JJ's last 5 games, and it has the Liberty back on track. Last night, she had 14 points and 10 boards as New York came from behind to beat the Dallas Wings 99-98 in overtime in Arlington, Texas. Dallas built a 12-point lead in the third, held New York to just 3 field goals in the period doing so, and took a 68-59 advantage into the fourth. But New York found a way. JJ hit a huge layup with 29 seconds left in regulation that cut the deficit to a single point, and they eventually forced overtime. One more game before the break, that's tomorrow night against the Chicago Sky.
The Marlins have a lot to look forward to, and so do we. The franchise is trending upward, and we got another prospect that could become a star, if they do this properly.
Lewis had the swing of the night for the Pensacola Blue Wahos, unloading the first grand slam of his season in a 16-6 beatdown of the Biloxi Shuckers. And he picked the perfect time to do it. Pensacola was already rolling during a massive second inning, then Lewis stepped to the plate with the bases loaded. The grand slam capped a 7-run inning and gave Pensacola complete control. It's been a nice bounce-back stretch for Lewis, who has 2 homers in his last 2 games. Home run number 7 was on July 12th, and number 8 came just a week later.
That'll do it for sports. This is 10YS. I know how we feel about recounts and elections, but I think all sports leagues should recount those all-star votes at the end of the year. I mean, you don't think Jazz should have been there? Ernie Clement and Travis Bazzana? All right, man, y'all got it.
And when we come back, Ian is back with your extended weather forecast, and a Grammy-nominated music soul child returns to Bahamas. That's coming up when our news returns.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
I can't believe my mom replied K to my text with a period. Are my 5 morning alarms a metaphor for everything else I'm putting off? What have I done to deserve K? Like my 768 unread texts.
I'm just your dermatologist.
769.
But it sounds like you don't want all of this showing up on your face. Try Hydro Boost. Its formula magnifies the power of hyaluronic acid for juicy, deeply hydrated skin.
Okay. Sorry. Neutrogena. Weightless hydration that goes deep.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Conflict doesn't have to end in chaos. Before it escalates, take a breath. Step back. Choose peace. Listen to understand. Respectful conversations lead to real solutions. I am Sergeant 3599 Johnson of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, urging you, let's talk it out, not fight it out.
This is our news. Welcome back to Extended Forecast and a deeper look at the tropics. Across the main development region right now, nothing much to talk about. Across the Bahamas, high pressure in charge. Again, further to the west in the Gulf area, this is where we have Tropical Storm Bertha. We'll show you the track of Bertha. Now, Bertha is expected to continue to move towards the west throughout the course of the remaining week. But right now, the position at 29.3 north, 86.8 west. It has winds packing of 58 miles per hour, gusting up to 69 miles per hour, keeping it at tropical storm conditions. It's moving a little faster compared to yesterday, where we only saw 2 miles per hour, up to 5 miles per hour, moving towards the northwest. But expect the movement rather continue towards the west throughout the remainder of the week. And that, folks, we expect most of the activity from the system across the Gulf area, all courtesy of that wind shear, and it also has a lot of dry air into it, so folks can expect more or less storm surge. So it's a rainmaker more than anything, which spells good news for the folks around the coastal region, as opposed to strong, gusty winds that can be anticipated or expected from much more potent or stronger systems. Taking a look now at our boating forecast across the northwest and central Bahamas. Winds of east to southeast 10 to 15 knots. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Low tide at 8:52 p.m. tonight. High tide at 2:38 a.m. tomorrow morning. Southeast Bahamas, that caution is still in place for your boaters and the moderate to high risk of rip currents for your swimmers. Winds northeast east 15 to 20 knots. Seas running 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, there may be 1 or 2 pop-up showers tomorrow. Rain chances increase late Wednesday into Thursday, all courtesy of a deep layer trough that should move westwards across our area, exiting by the weekend, bringing more pleasant conditions. Some showers expected into early next week, but those high temperatures still hanging around the low 90s, so stay hydrated because the nighttime temperatures, not much better, upper 70s, low 80s. That's a wrap on the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
All right, thanks a lot, Ian. Well, a Grammy-nominated artist is set to return to Bahamas for 2 nights this week. Our Danielle Miller, of course, recently caught up with him to discuss how he feels about his music being acknowledged as timeless ballads. She even got in on the act with one of his classic songs. Here's a look at that story.
Love, so many people use your name in vain. That's one of my favorite songs from you. I had to put that in there. I'm not the best singer.
Oh, no, you did just fine. Thank you. I appreciate it.
On July 22nd and 23rd, John Batista's Jazz Club will once again resonate with the vibrant sounds of rhythm and blues, featuring the talents of Grammy-nominated artist Music Soulchild. Renowned for his soulful lyrics, tranquil voice, and smooth persona, Music is well acquainted with the venue. In a recent Zoom interview, he expressed his enthusiasm for returning to the Jazz Club's stage.
I feel great. I'm looking forward to seeing all the people when I hit the stage.
And fans from all age groups securing their tickets for the event, anticipating Music's timeless hits such as So Beautiful, Teach Me, Don't Change, and more. Music tells me it's an honor to witness his music cross generational lines and reach people around the world.
I feel a level of gratitude that there are so many people across different generations that have been able to experience and appreciate and support the music that I've been blessed to put out. It's always humbling is the word I think I'm looking for. It's humbling the fact that I still get to do it and people still show up and they still are interested because, you know, things can go in a lot of different ways. Not too many people are able to maintain a level of consistency and longevity that I've had. So, like I said, yeah, it's a privilege and I'm overwhelmed with gratitude.
During our conversation, Music explained his reason for returning to John Batista's Jazz Club was straightforward. The team contacted him and he was free. Nevertheless, he did tell me what one of his favorite things about the Bahamas is.
The people, the vibe, the capacity for having a good time.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
So, Danny, you know I love you, but we're going to keep you on the reporting side of things. We are not going to allow you to go over into the music, singing side of things anymore. We love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for that story tonight. That's going to do it, of course, for us here on Our News Tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Jerome Sawyer. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Until then, you have yourself a wonderful evening.